Welcome back to Open Line. We are talking about the heartbeat bill, which is in the Tennessee legislature. It would ban abortion after a heartbeat is detected. The Senator Mark Pody, Republican from Wilson County, is here talking about that bill. We've heard some clips from those opposed to it. And now I'm just going to take a bunch of calls because we have several calls here, including from a couple of Lindas.
Awesome.
So let's see. We have two Lindas back to back. Let's see what they have to say. Linda, the first Linda. Go right ahead, Linda. Are you there?
Yes.
I hope I didn't confuse that. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go. What's your point?
My point is, why would men?
I think I know your point, but you may need to turn down your TV.
Somebody else talking above me. My TV is down.
Okay, can you get your? Can you go ahead and say what you want to say here?
Yes.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes.
All right.
So
I think.
Well,
go ahead.
My opinion is that why are these men are the main ones against abortion, and who?
I agree with this question. As hard as it is to get out, why is it that you are sponsoring this bill? You're a man. Why is it that men are so often the ones front and center on something that has to do with women's bodies?
And that's a great question. That is an absolutely great question. And I wish I had a terrific answer. But in all honesty, I cannot picture what it's like to be pregnant. I watched my wife. I know the stress it put on her body. I know the backaches. You know, the cravings, the emotional up and down. And this is from a person away from it. And I've seen how hard it was on her. And hers was a normal pregnancy. And I lived through that. You know, everything. And here I am trying to tell a woman that she has to do this. It just feels wrong for me to be doing this because, you know, I'm the type that I want to have everybody make their own choices, personal freedom, and so forth. And if it wasn't because I'm so passionate that I have to protect that most vulnerable baby, that baby that looks to me as saying, you are here, and I believe that God put me here to say, I am here to protect that baby. And if nobody will do it, it's up to me to do it. If somebody else carrying the bill, I would gladly say, go for it. I am all for it. But I was the one that had filed it, and nobody else ran the bill. So I'm going to take and try and protect that baby with everything I can. But on the other hand, you know what? I'm going to protect the people that are disabled. I'm going to protect those that are about to die. I'm going to try and protect life and say that we shouldn't choose which adults are no longer valuable or not valuable. I want to protect every life that I possibly can, from the life that's in the womb all the way up until the time that they pass away, and I want to make it a good life for them.
Let's go to the other Linda. Hello, Linda. Go right ahead, Linda.
Yeah, I want to say something. I know this is going to sound a little hypocritical to your listeners, but I'm talking from my heart. 35 years ago, I had an abortion, and I was young, very young, and when I went through that, it's something that I've lived with the rest of my life and will live with to the day I die. And it's not a good feeling. But I want to say this about the abortion clinics. If they would put the time, the money, and the effort into helping these young women to find these babies homes, to educate the women on what they're fixing to go through, what they're fixing to lose, a precious heart, like you said, of a life that does not even belong to me. If they would take that kind of attitude toward this abortion and do something about it, then women wouldn't have to go through what I go through, not every day, but for a long time. Would not have to go through that. And I just wish that something like that could be happening a little bit more.
So she's saying, okay, thank you for your point. She's saying if the other side would put their resources, I guess, toward different means. People have said the same about the side you're on. You know, you say that we need to have these babies be brought to full term, but then we need to put resources to make that happen. There need to be some more resources out there for some. So I guess you can address her and then my question.
All right. First, I could hear in her voice and what she was going through and such, and I appreciate her calling. I can't even imagine some things that she's gone through, so I appreciate her calling and sharing that. And I am one that I do want to put more resources, and if it means that we have to put more money in the budget to help make adoption easier, to help it for these mothers, I want to do it. If we need to say, you know what, this person wanted to have an abortion, but we got to do some prenatal care for them, and they don't have the funds or the resources to do it, I want to help them. But there's a lot of people that are having abortions out of convenience more than because they don't have other sources as well. So it's not like we're going to say everybody's in that situation. So those that need help, I want to help, and I'm willing to vote in the state, in the budget, to say we're willing to financially help them as well.
Let's go to Lucy now. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, I've got a couple of comments to make, and I've got questions probably more of the nature of rhetorical than anything. I first want to say this. I'm pro-choice. Personally, I wouldn't have an abortion, and I've had to face an issue like that, and I don't think I need to go into details. But my situation turned out in my favor. But first of all, that is not a piece of tissue to me. That is a part of my body, being female. Upon the moment I was conceived, every egg I was to ever squeeze out of my ovaries was already in my body, and that was a part of my body. That is not sperm. That is a part of my body. That is not a fluid that's made. That is a part of my body. So I take exception to some people thinking that people who have an abortion just look at it as like a hunk of flesh in it. They don't. Women who know what that is know that it's a part of their body. And I'm listening to this C-section. You'd have to give somebody a C-section to remove that baby. It's almost like an engineering feat, like playing God to me. This is what this sounds like. So I'm going to assume that since the state is going to pay for it, they're going to own that baby. And this was what brings all this to my mind, because I'm old enough to know what this used to be like. And have you ever seen the movie Butterbox Babies? If you haven't seen it, she was an upstanding Christian too, and that's a true story. And it's about babies and being adopted through Christian adoption agencies. And so was Georgia Tan, because I come from Tennessee, and a lot of poor people knew how that was. And when I was coming up, if you were a poor girl, it didn't matter if it got out that everybody knew that you were pregnant and you were unwed. They sent you down to Division Street. But if your family had money, and this is a guy who says you could still walk those feet that walk, if you had money, they sent you to Missouri. And back then, what they would do is they would take the babies from the girls, put them in Christian adoption agencies, and they get $5,000 for them. I heard now it's up to $125,000. So it sounds like you're harvesting organs like my kidneys, which it's illegal to sell, or my liver, but you can sell the baby, and you're harvesting a part of my body. Now, here's my last question.
Okay.
You said that now you're going to make exception. I heard this starting through committee the other day on PBS or something, and they said it didn't matter if you were rape or incest or any of that stuff. So I guess y'all have amended this. But my point is this. Are you going to get a doctor, a Christian doctor, a professional level government official to decide who is going to have that exception? Let me give you one. How about getting Dr. Scott Desjardins to be your expert on that?
All right, Lucy. Lucy, very passionate. I guess respond to what she said there.
Her point's well made. I mean, she does have a point, and I get it. And I do know that had things that happened in the past, and some of those things I'm sure are still going on today. We're not trying to do this. The only thing I'm trying to do is protect the life of the baby. That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to make it as easy as I can for those that want help or need help. You know, I know it's a big thing we're doing. This is a very passionate issue on both sides. I'm passionate that I believe it's a baby and it's a life, and I believe that underneath the Constitution it says that we have to protect that life. But I also see, I get it where somebody says, I don't believe that is, and if I use the wrong term, tissue, I don't mean to do that. That was not intentional in any way. So, and I don't mean to be disrespectful in that. That's not my goal. But you know, they're saying it's their body and their life, and they don't believe it's a life. So I get this divide right now, and I want to find a way. How can we work together to bring it?
Boy, wouldn't that be nice? I don't know that we can ever. I feel like this is the most divisive issue. One of them, easily one of the most divisive issues in this country, maybe the most divisive issue. It's like these two parties, Democrat, Republican Party, have been battling over this forever, and it is just so divisive. And I don't know how we come together on this, but what do you think?
Well, so I would say even if Roe versus Wade was overturned, we'd still be divisive.
Oh my goodness.
It's still going to happen.
Yes.
I do believe there will be a time, though, as science and medicine continues to get better. You know, it might be 20 years, might be 50 years, but there's going to be more advances down the road that I think we will continue to get closer.
All right, we'll take a break. I'll come back. We'll take more calls. You have a bunch of calls. Take a break. Be back right after this.